Hi there, it's Simone. Guess what? I have a new pen. No, it's not what you think it is. I did not break my fountain pen intentional buy in the first month of the year. No, I went really crazy before the start of the year because I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to get through this. Yeah, that's how I roll. So I saw this on Lisa Pearson. So I'm not going to watch her videos anymore because every pen that I bought in like the last 4 months has been inspired by her. She finds these really great deals on Amazon, and then I look there and I see them too, and I'm like, I should really get this. It would be bad if I didn't, and then I ended up buying it for a bigger price later on. So that's how this pen came into my house. I got this on Amazon as well. It's a Pilot. It comes in this plastic box. It is packed in this plastic sleeve. And then and it is the custom Heritage 92. I purchased this in a fine medium nib. It has the number 5 gold nib, 14K gold nib that is also on the Pilot Custom 74, but this pen has flat tops, and it also is a piston filler fountain pen. So that's basically the difference between these two pens. There is included, there's nothing underneath here. They do include a use and care guide for this pen, as well as I think the warranty. Yep, correct. But that's not what we are here for. So this is it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, or at least that's what it was available on, I think it comes in a clear and this blue. The blue was cheaper, so I went with the blue. And I like blue. I like all the colors, rainbow my heart. It is blue, but the section, the piston knob, as well as the finial up here are all in this smoke gray. Is this smoke gray? Is this the same gray? Looks like it. The piston rolls down really easily. Can tell that. I'm not sure if, so if you turn this, even though it has some kind of threads, it's not threaded, so the feet and the nib pull out quite easily. Let's see if it also, there is a circle inside, so it doesn't go in any specific way. Let's see if this is all the way. Yep. It's quite short in my hand. I know I mention this every time I film a video like this. I do have quite big hands, and I have been, it's winter and I'm washing dishes at work, so always in contact with water. That's why they look like that. But I would probably post this. And it is postable. It's not back heavy when it's posted. I brought out some pens to do some size comparisons. Let's just do them. Here they are. So I brought out the Pilot E95S. This is considered a pocket pen. I also brought out the Kaweco Sport. And then, of course, I want to compare it to the Custom 74, which I find very interesting. On this band, it says Custom 74. On this band, it says Custom Heritage. So why do they have different names for, why is it Custom Heritage and Custom? This looks more like your classic standard pen. It is cigar shaped, it has rounded tops, it has this, the ball clip that is so Pilot-esque. This is definitely a recognizable clip for Pilot. This one doesn't have that. The clip looks different. It depends on what you prefer. This looks still very classy, but it definitely doesn't look as expensive as this one. Maybe it's because also this is rhodium plated and this is gold trims. Then I'm going to move this aside a little bit and then put in the Platinum 3776 Century, just so we can see how they compare in size. The Custom 74 capped is definitely longer, and then just for size comparison, this is what a TWSBI Eco looks like. I am going to compare the sections as well, but let's just uncap all of those pens. Maybe the reason why I find that this looks more classy is also because it's not clear. I am going to put these two next to each other just so that we can see what exactly is the difference between those. And then this one. And this I would use Post-it. So where is the section on this one? Probably here. And then this one. So the Custom 74 is marginally longer than the Custom Heritage 92. The Custom Heritage, however, again, is larger than the Platinum 3776. These three are the smallest in this whole bunch. This one is the Kaweco Sport Post-it is longer than the Custom 74. And the E95S is almost the longest pen of all of those, which is quite interesting in my opinion. The section on the is really hard to determine where it is, but I would probably hold it right here. So this is probably the thinnest section of all of those pens. The section on these two are basically identical. It makes sense because it's the same nib. And I'm not sure when I write, I do know that when I write with the Platinum 3776, I usually post it, especially when in a longer writing session. I'm not really sure if I post this one though. And that's just marginally longer, but I probably will post this pen. It feels just a tiny bit too short to be used without. And actually it feels really nice like this in my hand. As we can clearly see, the nib in the Pilot is smaller than the nib in the Platinum. But as I said before, these two nibs are identical. It's just a different color. So, and then the E95S nib is definitely shaped, did I say differently? Is shaped very differently. And that's one of the reasons why this month, for the month of February, I will be inking up all of my gold nib fountain pens because I just want to see how they compare. Yeah, that's why I wanted to show this to you first, because now I'm going to ink it up with an ink. Do we want to make comparisons in weight? The thing is that this pen is already inked up. So maybe what I'm going to do is ink this pen and then come back. I actually just put this squeeze converter in here. Come back and take a look at both pens when they are filled. What I want to put into this pen this month is Ferris Wheel Press Stroke of Midnight. It is a 2 milliliter sample, and I'm curious to see how well it will ink into this piston filler pen. This was part of the Ink Flight box of December, and I said before that I was having quite some trouble with shimmer inks, and I know that this is a shimmer ink. However, I don't think that there's a lot of shimmer in this specific sample. There's the only thing that is like has shimmer particles, and it doesn't even come off. Well, it did right now, but now it's all bubbly inside. And since I just showed you, I can remove the feed and nib if necessary to clean it thoroughly. I thought, why not test this pen and ink this pen with shimmer ink? Because, you know, it's living on the edge for me here. I'm curious to see if I can actually get any ink in here. Yep, definitely. There is still some left. And it's messy, but it worked. This is definitely enough ink that I would want. So I'm happy with this fill. It's not completely full for sure, but I hope it was audible, the air that also was sucked in, because it wasn't submerged fully into the ink. That's kind of the problem with these 2 milliliter inks samples. It's kind of really hard to get a full fill. Not that I ever want one. So let's break out this. I'm going to go to a new page right here. Let's take. This is basically the notebook that I use to test pens. When something is not right, I go here. When I test a new pen, then I go here. And my cat is very fascinated by nature outside, so he is loud. So it is January 26, 2023. This pen is a Pilot Custom Heritage 92 with a fine medium nib. The ink that I have in here is Ferris Wheel Press Stroke of Midnight. And I can feel that it is finer than my medium nib on the Custom 74. Let's see. Downstrokes, side strokes, upstrokes. Not very strong in the upstrokes, and side strokes this way. Let's see how it does. Flex is a bit, not the right word, but it is bouncy. It's not as stiff as some steel nibs are. And I think I'm quite happy with this. I want to see how this compares. I mean, if I wanted to compare these, I just want to mention this. If you're a new viewer, I would have to use the exact same ink in both pens to make like very valid statements on those, because it could be that this ink is really dry and that's why the ink flow is very low. And so the nib size would look really, really fine, or finer than it usually is with a wetter ink. This pen is the Pilot Custom 74. It has a medium nib, and the ink is Diamine Ancient Copper. This ink is definitely wetter than probably this one. The downstrokes are like this, side strokes, upstrokes. They're always really fine on the side strokes. And then this is what this looks like. Yeah, let's see what happens here. I can see a difference between the nibs. I will ink both of these pens with, what is it? The ink that I purchased, Waterman Serenity Blue, at some point, and then put writing samples so that I can compare those pens with each other for sure. But not for the first inking. I feel like that's kind of takes away all the fun, if that makes sense. It might not be fair to all pens, because if the ink that I choose is really not the right ink, then I might not have the greatest experience with the pen and feel maybe some kind of animosity towards the pen, when in fact it's just the pen and ink combination that's not perfect, and the pen is perfectly fine. But this one I feel works really well. Both nibs are 14K gold nibs, and I do really like the bounce that I get with these pens. So I'm curious, and I hope to be able to share my currently inked really soon. I'm not sure if you see this video before that currently inked, but I'm really looking forward to inking up all of the gold nibbed fountain pens that I currently have in my possession. All right. If you have the Custom Heritage 92, let me know in the comments below what you think of that pen. I just recently realized that I don't really like cleaning piston fountain pens. That was after I had purchased this, so I'm personally more in favor of cartridge converters. They are easier to clean, in my opinion. So I'm not sure if this is such the perfect pen for me. But I was really drawn to the rhodium plated nib and hardware on the pen. It just appeals to me more. But I feel like I have so many gold trim fountain pens that I'm like looking at this and I feel like, oh, this is not as elite, is not the right word, not as prestigious as these ones, which is super dumb. Okay, well, I'm rambling. I would love to hear your thoughts on this pen. If you have it, let me know in the comments below. And if you know why it's Custom 74 and Custom Heritage 74, Custom Heritage 92, let me know as well. I'm really curious. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you soon. Until then, bye. Just kidding. I was going to weigh those pens, right? So this is the Custom 74 inked with one of those squeeze converters. You saw that earlier. 20 grams. This inked with not a lot, but enough, is 21 grams. So I am posting this, so that's the weight of the pen in my hand. I usually don't post this, so I would have to weigh it uncapped, and then it is 14 grams. So if the weight of the pen, it makes a difference in your fountain pen acquisitions and fountain pen experience, then this is definitely, if you do not post this, this is definitely the lighter pen. Was it the lighter pen either way? 21, 21. Wow, wasn't this 20? Well, okay. So they're both basically same weight. That's exactly how they feel in my hand as well. Yeah. All right, that's it. Goodbye.